I want to talk about accomplishment. You run for elected office or you serve as an appointed commissioner, and you hope to accomplish certain things and have a track record. So let's find out a little bit about this. I'm going to ask, and I'm going to start with you, Commissioner Sherman, who's currently the chairman of the Transportation Commission. What is the most important goal that you have yet to achieve as a member of Transportation Commission, and why didn't you get that done yet?
The most vexing problem that I've encountered is something called the Pine Street problem, which I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but it's been something that we've been struggling with the whole time I've been there, and probably started 2 or 3 years before that. It's about cut-through traffic down Pine Street from Huntington Drive to Atlantic. And we have not accomplished much. What I think needs to be done after struggling with this for the longest time, I've come to the conclusion that what we need to do is hire some real professionals, not people like myself or people sitting here, but people whose job it is to have traffic calming. And I think this can be done. We need to go out and find somebody. We have people, Gladding Jackson, who have done a lot of good work for us. We need to bring these people in as consultants to find a solution to the problem. The City Council, the problem was passed on to the City Council and nothing has been done. I find that I don't have a solution, but I know where somebody who does have the solution, that's Gladding Jackson. So there comes a time when we must step out of the city and find good help to solve these problems. That's my most vexing problem.
Philip, is there something you didn't achieve yet, and why didn't you as a councilman?
Well, there are some things we haven't fully achieved, but we've made some great strides in. One of the most important issues that I ran on was getting money in our budget for street improvements, water and sewer lines, in an orderly program of street repair. What we've done in the last 4 years is our Public Works Department has prepared a pavement improvement plan where they've rated and evaluated every street in the city of South Pasadena on a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being worst, 100 being best, and we've started fixing streets in that order. We've gone from $0 in the budget to $2 million a year for street improvements. The bad news is that's not nearly enough. We've got a $60 million problem for streets. Now, we have solved, for the most part, the water and the sewer problems because we've been able to incrementally raise sewer fees and we've issued bonds to fix the water problem, so we're redoing all our reservoirs. But streets are much more problematic. There's no federal grants for streets and there's very little way to raise money for streets except through your budget.
Thank you. All right, Michael, what's undone that needs to still be done?
I really, since I got into council in 2001, people are tired of me pointing out the sewer pipes, the water pipes I bring in that are busted, it looks like Swiss cheese. I've organized 2 tours of our water system, which is critical. It's falling apart, it's dilapidated. The reservoirs are circa 1890. It's beyond critical. If a reservoir goes out, these citizens, our city's going to pay $3.4 million from water from MWD. We can't afford it. We can't afford to lay off police officers, firefighters, like half the other cities in the San Gabriel Valley are. We built a solid fiscal condition. I want to get all those reservoirs, the sewers fixed, the streets fixed. I'll push that as I have been for 8 years. And secondly, I want to get people thinking about healthy communities, change our lifestyles, conserve energy. We're saving $100,000 a year on electricity in the city because we've changed a few light bulbs. We're conserving energy. I want to change our entire fleet of vehicles to clean air vehicles. We're no longer dependent on foreign oil. Let's invest that $300 billion a year we spend on foreign oil in our local communities here on alternative fuels like compressed natural gas, battery technology.
All right, thank you. You're all doing an excellent job with the timing. Thank you very much. I think we'll wrap this up soon. In fact, we're coming to the very last question. It's the most enjoyable question of the evening, perhaps more enjoyable for the audience than for the candidates. But we'll begin with Philip Putnam, and the question is one of partners. Which candidate, in addition to yourself, are you going to vote for on November 3rd, and why?
Well, the question is a surprise, but it was asked 4 years ago in the debate, and I like the answer that I heard. It wasn't my answer. I'm going to vote for the best candidate, which is myself, and like every other person in this audience, I'm going to respect my right to privacy in the voting booth. I will tell you that both of my opposition candidates, not really opposition because we're all friends. I'm friends with Michael Cacchiotti. I'm friends with Bill Sherman. I appointed Bill Sherman to the Transportation Commission. Bill Sherman's family endorsed me in the last city council race. Councilman Cacchiotti and I have worked for the last 4 years. They're all good, honest, decent people. It's not a question of character, it's just a little bit a question of priority and vision. But I can tell you, I believe that I am the best candidate in this race.
Very well. So you're definitely voting for yourself. Michael, presumably you will also vote for yourself.
Correct.
And one other person. Who would that be? Who else? You going to
I'm willing to sit down and assess. I like both gentlemen. I've worked with Philip closely for 4 years and developed a great relationship on the council. And it's really important to the council to get along very well and build alliances and consensus. But I've watched Dr. Sherman out there working hard in the Transportation Commission and his efforts, especially with the difficult problem on Pine Street, and his work on the 710. So, I am going to vote for a second candidate, and I feel who's best for the long-term interests of our city, for the bottom line, for infrastructure, and for the future of a healthy, safe environment.
All right. Dr. Sherman, what about you?
It's a tough act to follow. I'm going to vote for the best candidate, which is myself.
Of course.
One of these candidates are going to be elected, and I'll work with either one of them. They're both capable, and I'll work with either one of them, and I'll try to form alliances and convince them that some of my ideas are very good and that they should go along with me. But I'm going to vote for the best candidate, and that's myself.
All right. Well, the three of you, congratulations. You all successfully dodged that one. For the benefit of the audience, though, I'm going to suggest that you pay attention to your mailbox. I got a mailer at home that paired people up, and as you drive around town, you look and you'll see pairings of people, yard signs people have been grouped together. So I encourage people take it upon themselves to look further into the issue of which pair is going to get elected.